Hey, welcome to day 4 of our Blog to Bank Challenge. I'm your host, Rachel Ngom, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today, we're talking all about what not to do when blogging. So the past 3 days have been pretty epic. Hey, Beth. It's been such an honor to be working with you guys over the past couple of days and just to see all the breakthroughs that people are having. Like, as a coach, there's nothing better than that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart just for showing up and for doing the work. I know some of you, the exercises might feel a little bit uncomfortable. They're for sure getting you out of your comfort zone. So for doing the work and for showing up, thank you. I really do appreciate you. So just in case you've missed a few days and you need to catch up, the audio is on the She's Making an Impact podcast, and also everything is on our recap page, rachelandgom.com/recap. Hey, Ashley, I was waiting patiently. I know I started the live and then it completely shut off on me and I was like, uh-oh. So I started again. So I was a minute late. Sorry. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Beth. Good morning, Magnolia. Hey, Tammy. Welcome, you guys. Okay, and just a reminder, we are doing our contest. So we're giving away $1,000 towards one of my online courses. So to enter, all you need to do is make sure your Instagram account is public, and then post something that you're learning from the challenge. It could be a screenshot of your homework, of me, whatever it is that you want to do. And then share what you learned that day with the hashtag She's Making an Impact and tag me at She's Making an Impact every day of the challenge. How's everybody doing today? It is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's finally cooled off in Chicago and stopped raining, so I got to go for a bike ride this morning. I was so happy. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Kira. Hey, Danny. Hey, Carla. Caroline, hi. Hey, Sharon. Welcome, you guys. Okay, let's start off with a random fact about me, and then I want to hear a random fact about you. So random fact about me is my very first mission trip that I ever went on was in Guatemala when I was 19 with my college. So I was with a college group, and I'll tell you a really quick story because I'll never forget this. So I'm 31 now. What happens to time? Like, it's just crazy. But I went on this trip when I was 19, and I remember we went to a little village in the middle of nowhere, Guatemala, with a big truck of clothes and other things they're bringing for that village. And we ended up spending hours that day in that village just playing with the kids. They were so much fun. And I remember when it was time to go, I was sitting with these 2 girls. They were probably like 2 and 5 or 6 on my lap. And I just started to cry because the reality set in that we had to leave, that they were here in this village. They really didn't have much of anything. I don't even know if they were wearing shoes. And I started to cry. And one of the little girls went and bought me, it was like a little popsicle. And she bought that to try and cheer me up and to make me feel better. And then, of course, I started crying even more. Because I'm like, she has nothing really. And she's taking what little she does and giving it to me to try and cheer me up. I'm going to cry thinking about it. But that was one of the most impactful experiences that I've had on my first mission trip. And I went on to do a few others. But it was one of those things where I went to try and help other people, but they ended up helping me more than they'll ever know. Don't cry, Rachel. Don't cry. Okay. I want to hear something random about you. Hey, Sarah. Welcome. Hey, Amy. Courtney, yes, it's a beautiful day. Hey, Julie. Ashley said, I had a huge breakthrough today. I haven't posted every day in the group, but I'm so excited. I didn't know how to start my blog, but I just opened up and realized I can make it like my journal, sharing my experiences and helping others that might go through the same. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, Amanda. Sharon says, I went to Panama on my first trip. That's awesome. Valor says, I've never flown nor have I been outside of the Southeast U.S. There's a big world out there, girl. You got to go. Random fact about Kat. I'm working a demo with my Beats in one ear listening, so I didn't miss today's session. That's awesome. Hey, Dina. Kyla says, my wedding bouquet was made completely out of gaming dice. My invitations were actually old Nintendo cartridges gutted with paper inside that I spent forever on personal labels, but they turned out great. Okay, this is so fun. Beth says, I was an extra in the first Step Up movie, and I got to meet and hug Channing Tatum. Are you kidding me? That is so cool. Julie says, Disney lover, running a half marathon in September and February. We're going to Disney Paris in October. My dad is Disney obsessed. My parents went to Disney World on their honeymoon. And I'm in the wine cellar, but there's still Disney here, like Disney everything. So funny. He's such a big kid and he's more excited than we are. It's so funny. Amy says, just set a goal to head back to swimming and qualify for Master Short Course Nationals in April. Awesome. Dude, keep us updated. Tammy says, my first international trip was supposed to be to July this year to Uganda, but it got canceled. Try again. Uganda's so beautiful. So beautiful. Magnolia says, I have deja vu a lot. Interesting. Kaz is scared of Care Bears, and Cindy Lou has helped lead a worship service at a garbage dump in Peru. Okay, that's really cool. That's so cool. Okay, let's get into the good stuff. So today we are talking about the 5 deadly sins of blogging, and then we'll go into the homework. And then, of course, I'm going to stay on for some Q&A for as long as you guys have questions. Has the Q&A been helpful? Just let me know if that part has been helpful, and what has been the best part of the challenge so far for you. Don't miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is the best day. So make sure it's in your phone. Commit to showing up live tomorrow. It's going to be super impactful. Big, 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 big day. Ha! Cool, cool. Oh, Danny was born in Lima, Peru. Oh, you guys are saying yes, Q&A has been helpful. Okay, cool. Yay. Cool, cool. Okay, so 5 deadly sins, and then I have some people that I want to give some shout outs that did a great job with the homework. So first deadly sin, starting a blog and publishing your content without having an end product in mind. You got to start with the end in mind. So how do you want to monetize your blog? And then you need to reverse engineer it. So what's the ultimate goal that you want to have with your blog? How do you want to monetize? And then you kind of take a step back to, okay, if that's the ultimate goal, what should my freebie be? And then take another step back and say, okay, if that's my freebie, what kind of content should I create? So start with the end in mind. You need to know what your end goal is, how you want to monetize, and that's going to make everything else fall into place. Mistake, deadly sin, I guess. Number 2 is offering something that doesn't resonate with the content you've been sharing on your blog. And I gave the example of you can't sell peanut butter cupcakes on a weight loss blog. I want peanut butter now. But you got to make sure everything is very related and niched down. Like we said, we already talked about this on day 1. The riches are in the niches. And you want to make sure that the content that you're creating on your blog is niched down, and everything that you're offering is very connected, very related. So you can see this as an example on my Pinterest blog. My content is all about Pinterest. My freebie is about Pinterest. I've got a Pinterest cheat sheet. I've got a Pinterest workshop that you can sign up for. And then I have my course, Pin with Purpose. So start with the end in mind and make sure whatever it is that you're offering, it's very related to the content that you're creating. Deadly sin number 3 is creating a blog and expecting people to come. They're not going to come if you just hit publish. You got to make sure you know different strategies to generate traffic. Otherwise, like how I was, my mom was reading my blog post, but that was pretty much it. And then I figured out Pinterest and search engine optimization and other ways to get eyeballs on my content. So you got to have a plan for after you create that content, how are you actually going to get people to see your stuff? Because if you post it hoping that you just put it out there and people will find it, they won't. You have to be very strategic with how you're putting your content on Pinterest, how you're putting your images up, how you're using search engine optimization. That's how you're ultimately going to be found. And when you do this right, that's how you're going to be found months, years to come, which it blows my mind that the traffic on my fitness blog has increased, even though I haven't posted since January on that blog. So when you do these things, we're talking about working smarter, not harder, right? Like the content is working for me over time. People are searching on Google, they're finding me. They're searching on Pinterest, they're finding me. That's what you want to make sure you're doing. Have a very strategic way where people will find your content. Okay. Step number 4, which we talked about a little bit yesterday, is having a nurture process for your blog visitors and your readers. If people don't know what the next step is, they're going to leave. You have to tell them what to do. You have to tell them the next step is to get this free thing. So example, if you go through, I posted an example yesterday, the secrets to using keywords on Pinterest, that blog post. In the post, I very clearly said, okay, if you want to learn step by step how to actually use keywords in your business, you need to get this freebie, and it's this cheat sheet that's going to help you do that. And based on there, I was able to send emails like we talked about yesterday. So you have to have a very specific call to action. Otherwise, you'll get the people, but then they'll leave. Okay? And then deadly sin number 5 is not keeping a close eye on the statistics on your blog. You need to know what blog posts are generating the most traffic, and then where are people leaving. So know what your bounce rate is. So we have the Google Analytics. You can install that on your blog, and that's where you can see, okay, how much traffic am I getting? What are my most popular blog posts? Because that's what's going to tell you, okay, maybe I need to narrow down my topic and only post about this. That's exactly what I did in my fitness blog. So it was general health and fitness kind of content, but I looked at my Google Analytics and I saw, wow, the stuff I'm posting about eating keto, high fat, low carb, and intermittent fasting, that's really getting the most interest. What if I shifted my focus, I narrowed down my topic, I niched down to only doing keto and intermittent fasting? And when I did that, everything exploded. Traffic exploded. I became known as the keto girl, keto expert in a very short amount of time. So you got to know your stats, and you got to look at Google Analytics to see what's working, what's not working, how high is your bounce rate, where are you losing people. And when you know that stuff, that's when you can really make big changes that are going to make a lasting impact on your business. Okay, so how do we avoid those 5 mistakes? It's in your homework, okay? So what is it that you're selling or you want to sell through your blog? Again, you got to be crystal clear on what it is that you want to do. And then number 2 for your homework, does your offer complement your blog's content? Number 3, do you have a nurture process in place to create the know, like, and trust factor with your readers and subscribers? And number 4, are you tracking or at least looking and monitoring your statistics on your blog to know how many people are visiting your blog and what is actually working? Okay? Let's check out some comments. Cool. And then I'll go into some really good post examples. Let's see. Deb says the end in mind makes sense. Ooh, we just had a breakthrough. Mallory says riches are in the niches. I love that, but it's so true. It's so true. I went from being just that any run-of-the-mill general health and fitness person to a keto expert because that I niched down to that very specific topic. Yes. Ashley says, how do you poll your audience to know what they want when you don't yet have an audience? Do you know who your ideal client is? And could you maybe reach out to a few people who you know would be your ideal client and get them on a Zoom interview where you can ask them questions and get to know what it is that they need? Or is there a Facebook community where your ideal clients are hanging out and you can ask in there? That's what I did when I was first starting this business because I didn't have an audience. Now I can just ask a quick question and get a lot of really good market research. But I had to start from the bottom in this business, and it was literally, okay, this person is my ideal client. I'm just going to ask them, will you get on the phone with me? Can I ask you a few questions? And I was shocked at who actually said yes. So you just don't know. It's kind of one of those like go for no things. I was like, well, this person is, I mean, I had someone who in my eyes was like a celebrity in my space. And I was like, there's no way she's going to say yes. She ended up saying yes. We ended up becoming friends and she became a client. So figure out who it is that you want to help and help them. Ask them what they're struggling with. Tiffany, how do you get Google Analytics? So there's code that you'll put on your blog. If you're not techie, what I would do is just go to fiverr.com, fiverr.com. And I'm sure if you just search Google Analytics, you can hire someone and pay them like $5 to install it on your blog for you. Okay, let's go through some people who answered with some really good things. Oh, okay. Good question. I don't see who asked it because the printer cut it off. But the question was, how do you get people to stay on your blog longer? My bounce rate is 63%. So what I do on my blog You have to understand where's your traffic coming from, because if traffic is coming from a source like Pinterest, the bounce rate will probably be higher unless it's like a warm lead. So if it's a warm audience, maybe it's people from your email list or from your Facebook community that you're sending, the bounce rate will be lower. But if it's traffic from like very cold traffic, then the bounce rate will be higher. So take that into consideration, where are your people coming from. To get them to stay on your blog longer, what I suggest you do, you can see this in all my blog posts, is have kind of like an introduction to every single blog post. And so every single blog post that I write, I act like I'm speaking to a complete stranger who has no idea who the heck I am, what I offer. And I share with them, hey, I'm so excited you're here. I have the following blog posts that are going to help you that are related. So make sure you stick around. So they're not just going to go scan through that blog and then bounce. They're going to come and they're going to be like, oh, I came for this blog post, but she has this and this and this and this that's going to help me. I want to stick around and learn more from this chick. So you can kind of see how I do that if you just go to my blog and read any of my blog posts. Within Divi theme, you can actually save different like sections of your blog. So you can save that and then upload it so you don't have to write it out every single time. So I do that with my author footer. I do that with related blog content. It's a really, really good shortcut. Deb asks, is it best to narrow down after you get some statistics? Yeah, I mean, depending on what you're doing right now in your business, if you start to look at your stats and you say, okay, these posts are really taking off, could I narrow it down even more? Yeah, go for it. Is there a Google plugin? I believe so. We don't use the plugin itself. You want to limit how many plugins you use. If you have like 500 million, then they tend to slow down your site speed. So we put the code on our website instead of using the plugin, but I'm sure there's a plugin for it too. Mallory, how long did it take you until you started getting clients who wanted you to coach and pay for your services? I've been coaching since February and I've only had one client. It was my very first month in this business. I made $3,000, and that was pre-selling a course, which I'll talk about tomorrow, as well as doing market research, getting to know what my people were struggling with. And I did book private clients just from doing those market research calls because I was able to see what they were struggling with and how I could help solve their problem. So in the beginning, I was more trading time for money in terms of having private clients, and I was actually doing people's Pinterest accounts. And then I started to establish myself. I had a bigger client base and was able to create those online courses and generate more revenue from that. I'll definitely be talking more about that tomorrow in terms of monetization. But I would look at how many people are you trying to help right now? If it's been like, what month are we in? If it's been since February and you've only had one person, there's something you're missing, some sort of strategy, because it can absolutely happen faster than that for sure. Tiffany said, I asked Instagram last night what freebie I gave them 3 options to choose from, and I got answers. I couldn't believe it. See? Yeah, you just got to ask. Put yourself out there and ask. And in the beginning, you might get crickets, but you might get people that actually respond. And just keep asking. And you're going to start to, as you stay consistent and you keep showing up, your audience is going to want to interact with you more. So keep asking. Tiffany says the 5 sins are helpful. I'm struggling with knowing what I'm selling. Ultimately, one-on-one coaching is my offer, but there are steps in between. Thinking email signups is the goal of my blogs, but you definitely inspire me to get focused. Good. If you're not a technical person, Mallory, definitely outsource it. Wafa, what blog platform do you recommend that allows you to give readers previews of more blogs? I've had GoDaddy's site and their blog platform is very limited. So we use WordPress with Divi theme. Sharon says, I'm so excited to hear about course creation. Yes, boo. It's going to blow your mind what's possible. It's so exciting. Mallory asks, as well as set your blog up for lead generation. I'm a little confused with your question. Tammy says, I put surveys on 3 different groups and got nothing. Keep asking, keep building relationships. When I first started, it was very much one-on-one with people. It was very much one-on-one with people. And so I would say, where can you find your people? Or can you look at what people are saying on Amazon, like I talked about earlier? Can you look and see the words that they're saying, the content that they're using, right? Okay, let's look at Naomi Nakashima. I think I said that right. So she said she's writing 2 courses, one copywriting course, and the other is a social media management, launch your business as a social media manager course. And then she says, most of my content is about working from home, past content focusing on writing, but I've rebranded and expanded to working from home in general. And then I'm a numbers geek. I'm all over analytics all the time. My feedback for you, Naomi, is to do one thing at a time. It's really hard to create 2 courses at the same time and do them well. So I started with Pin with Purpose and I worked on that and got it to be a well-oiled machine that's now selling every single day on autopilot. I wouldn't do 2, and I would definitely suggest that you pre-sell it. Don't create a course and hope that the people will come, because a lot of times they won't. And I see a lot of people spending so much time creating a course that nobody ends up buying. Definitely pre-sell it, work with your audience, do the market research, and do it really, really well before you move on to another. A really good book that you can read is called The One Thing, and it's going to help you stay focused. But I see a lot of people, they dabble and dabble and dabble, and they don't become a master at anything. Pick one topic and then decide, I'm going to become a master at this one thing. And it might take an entire year. Like, I've been working on that Pinterest course and I still keep working on it, updating it. Someone said the other day, like, I love your courses, I want more from you. I'm not going to be creating very many courses. I have my little one, Creating Killer Content. I have Pin with Purpose and the Impact Blogging Academy that's coming out Friday. I don't want to create any more than that because of the time that I put into every single one. And once you create it, it's never really done, in my opinion, because I'm constantly learning and growing. So I'm constantly going back and saying, could I make this better? How could I tweak this? How could we increase conversions? How could I help my students even more? So I would say focus on the one thing and dedicate and commit to becoming a master at that one thing, okay? Yolanda says, what is it that you're selling? I want to make sure that my blogs are life-changing for my readers. I don't care if I give too much free content because I believe in the process of one-on-one coaching and have much to offer on a one-on-one basis. The vision behind my blogs are for my ideal clients to eventually become clients to my coaching academy that focuses on helping online coaches feel confident with their coaching skills and connecting deeper with their clients so they can create transformational transactions and scale their business to multi-success levels. Okay, so I'm thinking this is going to be a group coaching program or a course that you're selling. I definitely suggest starting with one-on-one coaching, but then having a bigger end game, because one-on-one coaching is not scalable and you will cap yourself out at some point. She said, my content complements the offer. I'm using my social work background to show coaches how to connect using interpersonal skills and other professional resources that will help them convert leads into clients. Awesome. Okay, and she hasn't started blogging yet. Let's look at Ashley. Ashley Kaplan says, I want to sell online courses, how to create WordPress website blog, and then services like customized WordPress site, SEO help, etc. And then, yes, my content will complement once I have content. And yes, she has a nurture sequence in place. Okay, I think that's great. The customized services, it's like the one-on-one coaching. I definitely think that's a really good place to start, and it's how I started. But I want you to think long-term as well. So do that so you have revenue coming in, but then think, how could we take this WordPress course that you want to create and then scale that as well? Kaz Taylor says, I'll be selling printable planners, guides, and eventually e-courses and challenges for running an organized household. My blog will be about hints, tips, and tried and tested methods of organizing a home, planners that can be used, and how to keep your home clean and tidy with minimal fuss and time by using routines and schedules. She's working on a nurture process for emails with her new Mailchimp account. Hey, taking action. I'm looking at other bloggers and seeing what they offer through the experience of their nurture email sequence so I can see what I like and what don't like on the receiving end. Awesome. Sign up for other people's email, like their freebies, and see what is it? What are they doing? What do you like? What don't you like? Dude, high five, Kaz. Okay. Wait, did I get them all? Did I get them all? Yes. Okay. What questions do you guys have? Yeah. There was a question on yesterday's homework about having your blog set up with lead generation. How do I do that? Okay, so it depends on where you are in your business right now. I started with lead pages and had that hooked up with an email provider. You could use a free plugin. So it's any kind of thing that has a box basically where people can put their name and email. If you were on a budget, you could use Bloom. That's a free plugin for WordPress, and then you'll hook it up with Mailchimp is a free email provider up to 2,000 emails. I was using lead pages. I love lead pages. They have really high converting opt-in forms, and it's $37 a month. And then we combine that with, we were using Aweber at the time, but now we use ActiveCampaign. So you got to have some kind of place like lead pages, lead boxes, or Bloom, and then connect it with your email provider. Sarah, what happens if your end game is sponsorships and product promotion for companies and it's not a physical product? You totally can do that, but you gotta, it's more of you building your brand as an influencer. It's a little bit different. I don't see why you wouldn't, if you're building your brand as an influencer, I don't see why you wouldn't want to monetize in other ways though. So when you build your platform, there's so many different ways you can monetize, which we're talking about tomorrow. So I would think of, is there another way that you could do it? Kat says, I'm going to be creating a blog to promote my book that will be coming out next year. Do you have any suggestions or ideas on what I could sell to make money before my book sales, or should I just be focusing on gaining followers? So I have worked with an author as a private client in the past, and she was actually going to be coaching other aspiring authors and teach them how to actually sell books in the entire writing process. So, I mean, there's so many different ways that you could monetize. So I would just think about, what do you want to do right now? You could spend time building an audience, but you could monetize at the same time. So I would just think of, what is it that you want to do? Who do you want to help? There's so many different options that what you could do. Hannah asked, what does pre-selling mean? It means you're selling a course without actually having the course created yet. So when I first did my very first online course, it was called the Food Freedom Project. I didn't want to spend a bunch of time creating a course that nobody bought. So I sent an email to my list. I said, hey, I'm going to be doing this thing. It's 21 days. I have so many spots available. I want to go through this with you. We're going to spend 21 days together. It was 21 or 30. I don't even remember. So I had them pay, and then they were in the course, and we delivered the content on a weekly schedule. So they were in the group, they got access to us, and then every week we delivered a new module. By doing that, we were able to sell, I think I sold 65 spots in that very first online course without actually having the course created yet. So it validates the offer. So you're not creating something that nobody buys, right? And then you get to know your people and create a really great product that they really enjoy before you go on and sell it on autopilot. So pre-selling, it's magical. Amy says, SEO help. Lord, I am your ideal client. I'm using what Rachel has taught. SEO help. So yes, we use Yoast SEO plugin. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Search engine optimization. And it's basically using specific terms that people are already searching for. So when they search for it, they find you. It's a little bit tricky to get into on a lot. This is more like a thing that I do in my courses of like, let me show you step by step how I actually do this. It's a little hard to just explain it because I'm a visual person. I know this, like if I heard somebody explaining it, it would be like shoop over my head. Danny said, my issue is niching down. Weddings won't bring in constant income. Home decor. That's up to you. What do you want to do, boo? You could do anything you want. What do you want to do? I would pick one. You don't want to do weddings and home decor. Hi, Tara. Welcome. What other questions do you guys have? Susie, it's Yoast. Y-O-A-S-T. Yoast. Hit me up with your questions. Ooh, here they come. Tara says, yes, I totally didn't get SEO until I took your Creating Killer Content course. Yes, see, it would be so complicated for me to try to explain it right here. Okay, Judith, can you create a course and pre-sell it and it not be live where they listen to a recording and do their homework because I have children? Yes. Yes. The biggest thing when you're pre-selling, just set the expectation of you're going to get this module at this day and time, this module at this day and time. And then it's completely on your schedule. You're happy because you can create it whenever the heck it is convenient for you. They're happy because they know what to expect. It's when their expectations don't match what's actually happening that people get mad. So just tell them, okay, you're going to get one module per week or whatever it is that you want to deliver, and you're going to get this one at this specific day and time, and then do what you promised them that you would do. Carla says, when you pre-sell, do you let them know that this run is an early bird and they'll be helping develop as you go? Or do you just pretend it's complete and bust tail when people buy? That's up to you. So when you get started in the Impact Blogging Academy, you're going to be, it's mostly done, but I wanted to hold off on the last 4 modules because I want to make sure I'm not teaching over your head. And I want to get your feedback as I'm creating it. So there's so many benefits to pre-selling. Okay. So it's up to you. I would definitely let them know though, like you're going to get access to the first 3 modules and then the next couple modules. And I like to let people know, like typically when you are pre-selling, it's going to be, if it's like, we call it like a beta test, it would be at a special discounted rate. And so we would say, okay, you're going to, so this is exactly what we did with the Food Freedom Project. We said, okay, you're going to get access to us for 21 days or 30 days or whatever we did. You're going to like actually get to ask us questions. We're going to deliver the content. When we resell this program, it's going to be $97. So not only do you get access to us, you get it at a discounted price. Alexandra, when you pre-sell, how are you delivering the content? Do you create it in Teachable, Thinkific, etc., and deliver it to them that way, or just straight emails? We do everything in Kajabi. And so when you get access to one of my courses, you'll get an email from Kajabi saying, hey, create your login. You create your email, you have your email, you put your email, create a password, and then you log into the course. And so I'm creating the course content on my computer. We use ScreenFlow. I upload it to Kajabi, and then I can send a notification to all students that, hey, module 1 is here. Hey, module 2 is here. But we use Kajabi. Teachable is another platform. You could do it on Thinkific. It's up to you. I started with Thinkific because it's free, but upgraded to Kajabi. Kiara asks, how many blog posts do you recommend having written before you launch? I had 3, but they were like old blog posts that I repurposed from my fitness blog. I was like, that'll do. It was like top book recommendations, and I just added more. And another one was like morning routine. Like it was nothing special. Trust me. The most important thing is that you just launch. Just do it. Don't think you have to have yet like all these ducks in a row and have it absolutely perfect. No. Most people wait too long. Just launch it. Beth, could you give us ideas for blog posts relating to selling physical products such as a phone case? So I would look at one of my clients. I'm trying to think of her website and I can't think of it. I'll have to find it, but she sold physical wedding products and tripled her sales by going through Pin with Purpose. I cannot think of the name of her blog. But she was teaching about, it was everything related to wedding. And so I would just think about what would be related to selling phone cases. And so I also think of Canal, who sold artwork, a physical product, and he created blog content related to the artwork. So could you do top 5 iPhone cases, or just think about what's related and create that. So whenever you have, I'm gonna need to find the name of her blog. But whenever you have a physical product, the same rules typically apply of what's going to add value and what's related. Deb, what number is a typical good amount for how many modules in a course? It depends on the course. Oh gosh, we're diving so deep into this in the Impact Blogging Academy. Gosh, it really depends on what kind of course you're creating, what the price point of the course is, what you're trying to teach. The Impact Blogging Academy is 12 modules. Pin with Purpose is 8 modules. Creating Killer Content is 4. It really depends. How long does it take for you to get the point across and really help them? Longer is not necessarily better. So let's say I told you that I'm a part of a mastermind right now, and I'm spending $24,000 this year to be in this mastermind. So what if I said I have one thing that increased my income, one strategy that increased my income by $100,000 by being in this mastermind? Would you pay me $2,000 to learn that one thing? It took me $24,000 in all of these things, right? But it's just one thing. It's not how many modules. It's what's the impact that you're gonna make through that thing. Does that make sense? So it doesn't, longer is not better. It's just what's the promise of the course. Corey says, still struggling with narrowing down my ideal client after watching stats over the past few months. I think I need to take things in a different direction. My question is, to make my existing blog content more relevant, should I go back and edit the copy of all my past blog posts to speak in a different voice to my ideal client? No, just start fresh. Oh, start fresh, boo. That's going to take so much time. Start fresh. Tara, can you spell that for us? What did I say? I don't even know what I said. What did I say? Julie, I'm a registered dietitian. My main interest is weight loss. Should I use my specific story on how I lost weight after pregnancy and maintain my weight? No fancy diet, just healthy eating and exercise. I offer nutrition coaching services by phone. My blog content is healthy eating, weight loss tips, and running tips since I'm a runner. Is that not specific enough? I hadn't had any clients that just launched my website in June. I definitely think, how could you niche it down? So the very first time I niched down my fitness business was right after I had my son 5 years ago. Gosh, he's gonna be like 6 before I know it. And I did so I was running just generic challenge groups like everyone else. And after I had him, I'm like, I'm gonna run lose the baby weight groups. And so all my groups are called Lose the Baby Weight, and I was only targeting new moms who wanted to lose the baby weight. And like it just really took off. So it was that niche down, that specific, and then people were referring me like, oh, this friend just had a baby, you have to go check out Rachel. So I would think about, how could you make it more specific? Maybe it's something similar to what I did of helping new moms lose the baby weight, because we needed help. I gained 65 pounds when I was pregnant. Okay, Joy, what do I need to do to get set up? I need a domain name, a web builder like WordPress, and something to collect their emails, and something else to automate and send emails. Could I use Mailchimp to collect emails? Okay, so Mailchimp needs to be hooked up with a lead box, like Lead Pages, right? Or Bloom. So you'll need one of those to collect the email, and then you'll use Mailchimp. So once you have the blog set up, you have that set up, and then either Bloom, Lead Pages, or Kajabi too actually does opt-in forms. So you could hook, Kajabi does emails too. So if you want to simplify everything, you could just use Kajabi for your opt-in pages, Kajabi for your emails, Kajabi for your course creation. It's a little bit more expensive, but it has everything all in one space. And when you're ready to up level like you already are, Kajabi. Okay. Anna says, if I'm talking about self-awareness for teenagers, life topics, relationships, money management, knowing your needs and wants, what can be my product? I can only think about writing a book. What do you think would serve them? So I have a friend that's in my mastermind, and she works with basically families, moms and their kids that are going off to college. And she's creating a course that's helping the family prepare to send their kid off to college and all the other things that they need to be aware of. She sold out all of her books after going through my Pinterest course, which is so cool. But she has a book, and then she's creating that course too. So there's so many different things that you could do. There really are. You're welcome, Corey. You're welcome, Deb. Kajabi. Samantha says, I know you use Grammarly. Is there any other tool that you use? A million tools that I use. I have a blog post called like must have tools for entrepreneurs. If you just search my name and search that, you'll find it. I have to use Grammarly. You guys, I barely passed English class. It's embarrassing, but if I did it, oh good God. Um, Courtney says Mailchimp also has its own landing pages. There you go. There you go. That's a good place to start. Let's see. Beth says the reason why your blog took off is because you had success losing the weight with pictures to prove it. Amazing. I did have the pictures, but if I had the pictures and I didn't have the niche, it wouldn't have made that big of a difference. It's because I really niched down that made the biggest difference for sure. Danny, where would you put your blog post? On your website. Cas. Okay, good question. So it's a group of people that are basically we're meeting every other week and masterminding. So like figuring out how can we help each other's businesses. I'm going to be running one starting in January. And there's usually someone leading the mastermind that you're learning from, but also you're learning collectively from the other people in the group. So you can bounce ideas off of them. It's magical. You become the people you surround yourself with. So why not surround yourself with amazing people that are going to help you raise your standards and become more? Huge game changer. Ashley says, just want to say thank you so much for this challenge. I had no clue where I was headed a week ago. Now I feel like I have a very definite direction and I feel confident to boot. This has been amazing. Thank you for showing up and doing the work. I love that. Love that. What other questions do you guys have? Love, 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 love. Any other questions? Danny, are there templates for blog posts? Within Divi, you can actually use templates. They have, Divi has, I used their sales page template and I used that to create my very first ghetto sales page. It was fabulous. It was very messy, but messy action. So there are things like that within Divi. I'm not sure about like other, what's the word I'm looking for? Brain fart. What themes? That was the word. I'm not sure if I'm sure there are for other themes, but we use Divi theme on our blog. Kim says, I'm doing Divi. I love the templates. Save me so much work. Divi is amazing that you can just save stuff and literally just upload it. It saves a lot of time. I'm all about saving time and having systems. So Divi, definitely amazing. Canva, the fact that you can save all your Pinterest images and duplicate it, hit that copy button. Like, there's a lot of cool things that you can use to save yourself a lot of time. A lot of time. Mallory, struggling with creating my own content and not just selling Beachbody products. Any ideas? Yeah. So, I mean, I created that first course and my people ate it up because a lot of them didn't want Beachbody products. They wanted something else and they wanted it from me. And so ask your people what they need help with. Like the very first thing I was like, could I create a guide on eating keto? The very first digital product I created was the Busy Mom Cookbook. And so I was creating all these recipes that I could make in 10 minutes or less, and I was sharing them with my audience, and they loved it. So I'm like, do you want me to create a little cookbook for you? And they're like, yeah. So I created that, and I remember I think I made $1,000 that first week or that first day that I launched. That's not one that I still sell, I don't think. The keto one I still sell all the time. That's because my blog is keto focused. But yeah, I would just talk to your people, see what they like from you, what they need help with, what direction you could take them in. When I created the first online course, at the time, Beachbody came out with To Be Mindset. right? But at the time, there was nothing about mindset in any of the fitness programs. And after losing 80 pounds myself, I was like, mindset needs to be focus number one, not working out and not drinking a shake. Like you have to work on your mindset too. And so that's kind of what we were teaching within the Food Freedom Project is working on your mindset as you're adding these other habits. So like, do you see a gap in what's being offered? Do you see questions that your people are asking? Say like, just ask, what do you need help with? How can I help you? Do you post your blog on Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook? All of the above, typically, yeah. Like I talked about, I think yesterday, was reposting your content because not everyone is going to see it the first time you write it. So you share it. I tweet it out, I put it on Pinterest, share it on wow, my brain is not working today. There's a website that I'll think about later. But we'll put it on Instagram. We talk about Instagram stories. We put it on Facebook. Pinterest is the #1 traffic generator. But yeah, all the places. Tara, what are the biggest reasons you decided to go with Divi? Divi's the theme for your blog. Because my virtual assistant told me to. That's why. He's like, Rachel, this is a really good one. This is what you should go with. I'm like, sure, let's do it. And I love it. It's really easy. That's why. Kim says, I love Canva for the brand colors and fonts. Doesn't it make it so easy? Alexander said, my web designer set me up on Divi, but I'm still learning. Do you know of any good resources on how to learn how to use Divi? They have a website that had video tutorials that I watched, and that helped a ton. Because like I said, I did everything. Like I'd created my first sales page on Divi, and I had no clue how to do that. So I just watched a few videos, and that really helped. Tara says, your Pinterest templates saved my life. Yay! Yeah. Once you figure it out and you can just like duplicate and send, like, man. Pinterest templates, everything. Amy says, love Canva. Holy cow, love that you can resize the image without a ton of other work. Canva is life, y'all. Canva is life. How do you save your work on Canva? I'm having trouble with that. It should save automatically, boo. Ashley, Canva is my jam. Got a lot of Canva lovers in here. They don't have an affiliate program yet, and I told them they need one because I recommend it to everybody. Ashley says Elementor is another page builder alternative to Divi with a free version that is a plugin that works with many WordPress themes. Sweet. All right. I don't know anything about it, but thank you for the recommendation. Roberta, how many pages was your cookbook? We had 34 recipes in there. I don't know how many pages it was, but it was 34 recipes, 34 healthy recipes you could make in 10 minutes or less. It included healthy cocktails, all the peanut butter cups. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So good. Okay. Roberta, I'm struggling to figure out what I'm going to sell. Vegan cookbook might be the answer. Where did you get your recipes, Rachel? Did you make them yourself? Yeah, I was kind of like I was obsessed with Hungry Girl in college. And so I just became a whiz at healthifying all these different recipes. And so I just figured everything out on my own and made their own recipes. So that's what I did. Ashley says, I was a Beachbody coach for 3 years and burnt out. Now I'm going to take my biz into my own direction to adding and other things I've learned there, but also since quitting it too. You can easily get burnt out for sure, especially in network marketing. But you learn so much. I'm so grateful. I was with Beachbody for 6 years. I haven't touched network marketing in about a year. I've made $3,000 this month. Like it's a sweet place to get started and build residual income. I've learned so much from network marketing. I'm really grateful for it. But I think you hit a point where you're like, I really want to do something on my own. And I really want to branch out and create my own stuff because I hated having my income tied to whatever they were doing, whatever promotion they were doing. So there's a lot of things. There's a big world out there, boo. There's so much you can do. Jennifer, how long should blogs be? Don't want to word vomit on everyone. Totally. I try to have it be 1,000 words, but it's not like me reiterating the same thing over and over again. It's jam-packed of content and value. So when I'm writing something, I'm like, okay, it needs to be 1,000 words. I set that as my goal. I don't typically do more than that because I am super concise with what I write. That was a problem in school. They're like, you need to write like 37 pages. I'm like, Ew, I cannot. It's not possible unless I say the same thing over and over again. But aim for 1,000 words and just make it jam-packed with value. Courtney, love Canva. Yes. Tara says, would you recommend keeping your MLM products out of your blogs and only market them in emails? That's exactly what we did. So we sold our course, and within the course, we had recommended products, and we talked about the recommended products in our videos that we were teaching. And so got people signed up on our program, which was much cheaper and easier for people to get started with. And then it was like on the back end, okay, this is optional, but it's going to help you with this, this, and this. If you want a home workout program, if you want the shake that I'm obsessed with and I still drink, I've had every day, almost every day for like 7 years. My mom too. I had it for lunch. So good. Okay. Julie, do you have to pay for that feature to copy in Canva? No, not that feature. If you want to save your brand colors and fonts, you do. You need Canva for work. It's less than $100 a year, like $10 a month or something like that. I personally think it's worth it with how much time it saves when you're creating Pinterest images with how many that we do create. But that's totally up to you and what's in your budget. Carla used Elementor. Julie says, I'm using the free version. Have to create each Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook for social media posts separately. Okay. Ashley says, oh yes, I'm so thankful for that experience and grew a lot, opened me up to a whole new world. Me too. I was literally just a master's student getting my master's, and then boom, like this whole world of entrepreneurship and personal development and a whole new life opened up in front of me. I'm like, wow, this is cool. Yes. Cool. Do you guys have any other questions? Zozo is losing it upstairs. This dog. He's a really good guard dog. But then if the person ever came inside, he would go run and hide under the bed. Danny, it's $12 a month for Canva for work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I knew it was something like that. Do you guys have any other questions today? Tomorrow's a big day. We'll talk more monetization and all other things, making money with your blog. Impact Blogging Academy. It's a big day. Big, big day. Danny says, my head is spinning with ideas. Write them down. Journal it all out. Just grab a pen, piece of paper, and just be like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. Come back to it. There's, you guys, the possibilities that you could do, like, possibilities are endless. Tara, do you have a way you reach your ideal clients outside of Pinterest? Totally. Well, we do search engine optimization, right? We have an Instagram platform now. We have our Facebook page. And once we had our funnel, which is the nurture sequence in our emails, our webinar was converting, it was working. This is all stuff I'm teaching within the Impact Blogging Academy. Then after that was working with free strategies, because I didn't have the money to invest, then we invested in Facebook ads. And now that it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare. So blogging is the tortoise, and like when you're on a budget, you start with the blog and the content and all that stuff. Facebook ads are the hare. And when you have something that's converting and it's working well, then you can invest there and you're getting a huge return on your investment. But I started with free stuff, but now we do a lot in Facebook ads. And that's how we've grown really, really fast, but started with the blog and then invested there. What social media platform do you focus on primarily? Pinterest, really. That's the number one thing. We do post on Instagram every single day, but that's not to get new people. We get new people through Pinterest primarily, and now Facebook ads, right? But we build the relationship with everybody on other platforms like Instagram and like our Facebook community. We do have starting to build a presence on YouTube as well. Ashley, how do we sign up for the Impact Blogging Academy? Tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big day where it opens, and it's only going to be open for a few days. So make sure you're on tomorrow with me, okay? Danny says, do you like Later for Pinterest? I've never used it. We use Tailwind. Tara says, can you just release the Impact Blogging Academy already? Tomorrow morning, I promise, okay? So maybe I'll release it early tomorrow morning. It was going to be after the Facebook Live, but maybe tomorrow morning. Okay. But I'm so excited for you. Oh, yay. Pinterest question from Wafa. Keep reading. It's important to repin other content, but how can you do that to drive people to your site, especially as a new blogger with little content to promote for yourself? Okay, this is a really good question. So in the beginning, I have this new chair. It's like a kneeling chair that I'm trying out right now. So I'm like, yeah. Okay, don't fall over. So in the beginning, you don't have a lot of content. So what I recommend you do on Pinterest is repin other people's stuff 80% of the time, your own content 20% of the time. What that does, it helps you show up in Pinterest's smart feed. That's their logarithm. Okay, so it's kind of like priming your Pinterest account, telling Pinterest, hey, I'm here, I'm posting content on a consistent basis, right? But then when you're doing what I teach, you're going to be creating content every week. And what I teach within Pin with Purpose is creating 5 to 7 pins per blog post. So pretty soon after a month, you have a lot of content that you can start to pin yourself. So maybe it's more 50-50, where 50% is your own stuff, 50% somebody else's stuff. And then as you have a year's worth of content with 5 to 7 blog posts, you have a ton of content that you can share, right? So then it can be mostly your own besides what you're repinning through Tailwind Tribes. So it's really, you're pinning other people's stuff to help you show up in Pinterest logarithm, the smart feed. Kim says, proof all of this works. While on this call, I got this message. Hey, can I purchase a facilitator's handbook for service project coordinator workbook, starting with the basics? We're going to start using this. Is this the thing that you're doing videos of? So Kim just made a sale using the strategies, boo. We haven't even started the Impact Blogging Academy yet. Can you wait? Can you imagine? What? So cool. Tara, how often do you recommend we pin a day or week? So I would start with pinning 5 times per day, which seems crazy, but we use Tailwind to schedule everything. Okay, so you can sit down 1 day per month, spend an hour just scheduling everything, and have all your pins set up for 5 times per day for the entire month. But then as your business starts to grow, let's say you added a virtual assistant that does all of our pinning for us, then you can up your pin. So now we pin probably 20 to 30 times per day, but he's doing it. So start with 5. How do you pin when you're product based to your blog? So you're creating content on your blog and you're creating a graphic in Canva that has text on it, not your product, and it's getting people to click through. It's a lot. It's a little complicated to teach right now. I like dive deep into how to do that within Pin with Purpose. Delina, 5 to 7 per blog, genius, light bulb moment. Thank you. I have that course. How did I miss that little nugget? I don't know. Go back through it. Go back through it. Carlos says Tailwind schedules Instagram now too. Yes, I have not used Tailwind for Instagram stuff. We use Planoly for Instagram, but Tailwind is the bomb. We have an interview with Tailwind within Pin with Purpose. They're so good. So good. Life-saving. Julie, you pin 5 of your own pins each day. Yeah, we pin quite a bit. Tara says, is it just a pin or like a batch of pins per the 5 times? So what we do, we take one Pinterest image in Canva, we hit the duplicate button, and then we'll change like the background color, or we'll change the headline. So we're testing out headlines in the Advanced Marketing Institute, like I talked about, right? So we'll test out another headline. So then we'll use a few different headlines with a few different, it's still our color scheme, but one might have like a khaki background, one might have a white background. So it's a little bit different, but it gives us more images that we can use. And with the duplicate feature, it makes it so easy. So easy. Danny, so you don't just pin your own products. No, we repin other people's stuff. Yes, we do. Any other questions? I hope the sun is still out. I'm in the wine cave, so I have no idea what's happening outside. Any other questions, y'all? And tomorrow with the Impact Blogging Academy, we are having a live event in Chicago. So I hope some of you'll sign up. I know we already have some people joining us. It's going to be epic, epic. And I'm so excited. So excited. Beth, so use the same content for your pins, just different styles. Yes. Susie says, thank you. Can't wait for tomorrow. Me too. Me too. Okay, so comments are slowing down. So I'm going to let you guys go so you can really jump in, dive in with the homework, get her done. Tomorrow's a big day. I'll be on live, same time, same place. You're amazing. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, everybody.